I've been very extensively testing out the new scanning setup for the last couple of months. And I really want to share this with you because it's almost perfect. Thanks to Negative Supply for sponsoring this episode, but as always, all thoughts and opinions are my own. Welcome to another episode of Let's Talk It Over. So, a while ago I received a package from Negative Supply and I made an episode about that unboxing. I didn't follow it up with a review yet because I really wanted to put it to the test. So I did, and man, this setup really made it a lot easier for me. There are a lot of different kits available, so go check out their website and see which kit really suits your needs. For all my people in Europe, go check out Photo Impacts because they are the official supplier of Negative Supply in this part of the world. I will leave all the links down in the description. But yes, this setup is wonderful. Everything feels so solid and sturdy. It is really a tool for people who are serious about their work and really want the best quality there is. In my opinion, and I've tested this out a lot, I think that DSLR or mirrorless scanning is superior to lab scans or flatbed scanning. The modern sensors and lenses capture so much dynamic range and detail, it is really hard to compete with. But there are some downsides too, and the biggest one is dust. You can try to blow it off before scanning your negative, but there will always be a little speck of dust on each negative. And you can see that with the naked eye. So therefore this setup isn't perfect. I think that the premium curated kit and the pro kits have this extra add-on, which is a brush to remove dust. So I need to see if that is something that I want to add to my setup. Otherwise, the AI functions in Lightroom do the job as well. It's just a little bit time consuming. Other than that, I just love it, definitely with my Canon R5C, which has a beautiful sensor. Combined with the 100mm macro lens, it's incredible. But enough of that, let's just scan a couple of rolls together and see how I use it and how it works. Normally I am not at this table or in this position. I'm back in that room over there where everything is dark, and I thought it would be nicer to just display everything here. So yeah, that's why I set it up on this table just for this video. So normally I am in the dark, and I do recommend scanning your negatives in the dark because then you have no spills of daylight or reflections, anything. Probably a small chance when you got a setup like this, and you can probably do it in daylight, but I do not recommend it. I do want to show you guys what I got here, but like I mentioned before, I already made an unboxing video about this kit where I really show everything. So that's probably better to watch after this if you are interested in what's included. But this is a curated kit for 35mm and 120 film. So you get a couple of different things. So this is the holder for a medium format film, and if you could only feel how much this weighs, you will probably say, okay, that's a piece of good equipment. But let's see what's included with this, because it's a lot. We first of all have the light, which I'm not going to pick up because I just positioned it well, but this is the light that comes with this kit, and this is a very nice light because the brightness is perfect from corner to corner, which makes sure that you don't have any vignetting or vignetting probably on your negatives. It's very important that you have a good light source. Probably one of the most important things about film scanning. And this thing goes on top of it. There's an adapter on it, which you can take off like this. This adapter fits perfectly on the square of the light source, and then you have a tight fit. You have this knob that you can turn to advance the film. And with this holder you also have the insert, I think it's called, I don't know for sure, but I think it's called the insert, which is this thing, and you have two of those. And as you can see, wait, let me first take out this, I will explain that later, but as you can see, this one has a bigger hole than this one. That means that this one with the bigger hole is made for full border scanning. And some people like it, I do not. Why use up some of the resolution for the film border. It doesn't make really sense to me. So I don't use the full border scanning insert, but if you want to, you can use it. And with these inserts come all of these things, which are, what do they call this? These little frames that perfectly fit the medium format film that you try to scan. So this is 6x6, which is perfect for my Hasselblad because it's a square format. But we have a lot. We got 6x7, 6x45, 6x7 full border, 6x6 full border, 6x45 full border, and we got 6x9 and 6x9 full border. So you get everything. I will stick to the 6x6 because that's what my Hasselblad is. So this insert goes right in there and that's perfect. You can also use it without an insert, to be honest, but I think it's just nicer to use or to scan just the frame that you want to scan, and that also makes sure that you don't get any spills of light from the other negatives maybe. I don't know. I think it's just a good practice to use the frame or the mask. The mask, it's a mask. The mask that comes with or fits your negative. So yeah, this is 120. But then we also have, of course, 35, and this weighs a ton too. This is the film holder for 35. Almost the same as the 120, but just for 35. It also comes with an insert and with the scanning masks that slide in like this. But the thing is, with this one, you can't take out the full border insert just as easy as the 121 because you have these screws that you have to unscrew. But if you want full border scanning, again the option, and we have the masks for it. We got a couple of masks which have an F on it if it's for full border scanning, like maybe for panos. I don't know what this is. Oh, this is full border, just a normal frame. And we got, I think, half frame. This is for half frame, I think. Maybe this will fit and expand. And don't forget, this is the... Hello?
Have I arrived?
And of course we have the adapter that fits. And of course we have the adapter that fits on this to fit nicely, I think, other way around. Yeah, we have the adapter that fits nicely on the light source. But again, if you want to see everything that's included in this kit, like the stand and the base, whatever, just go check out the episode about the unboxing of this whole kit. But enough of that, let's scan a couple of rolls. I got two rolls, one 120 film and the other one is 35. Let's start with the 120 because that's already set up. I always wear these lint-free gloves to protect my negatives for fingerprints, but also, yeah, that's mostly it, just to protect it from fingerprints. As you can see here, I got a full roll of 120 film. I don't cut my negatives before scanning, or I asked the lab not to cut them before scanning because this makes it a little bit easier to scan them and you don't have to constantly switch the strokes of negatives, definitely with 35. So yeah, this is my roll of 120 film. I always make sure that I got the shiny side on top. So you photograph or you scan the shiny side, make sure the dull side is on the bottom. And you can also look at the text of the film, Kodak Portra 400 in this case, make sure it's in the right order. And that way you can start scanning your negative. Make sure that everything is clean and just insert the film like this. Of course, because it's the first frame, you have to push it in a little bit and also make sure that your camera is on. So for settings, it depends. I like to set my shutter at 1/8 because I also like to close down my aperture a lot at f11. I think for my setup it has the most sharpness across the whole frame, so that's why I use 1/8 of a second and f11 at ISO 100. I see people do it at f8 and a higher shutter speed, but I like to do it this way, and it also makes sure that the histogram is nicely balanced. Having a lot of detail with the f11, but also having a nice histogram is very important for scanning your negatives. And I don't worry much about the shutter speed because it's on a nice stand, it's very sturdy, it's almost like a tripod of course. But to make sure that nothing is moving, I am also using a timer of 2 seconds. So f11, 1/8 of a second and ISO 100, for those who want to know. So make sure that you're in focus, press the shutter, hands off, and there it goes. That's your first negative. And when you push in the first negative on 120 film, after that you can use the knob to advance the film further. And also what you can do before you scan a negative is get a dust blower and blow some of the dust off. I'm not going to do that right now, but for 120 scans I tend to do that. For 35 I'm not really bothered with it. Yeah, that's mostly because I scan a lot of 35 rolls, and blowing off the dust from each individual frame will add up a lot to the time that I'm scanning film. So, but you can do that of course if you're just scanning a couple of rolls. You can just blow off the dust from each separate negative, but I don't. So that is the roll of 120 scanned, and I don't touch it with my fingers on the negative, just on the sides, and I only touch the negative with my glove. So yeah, make sure that your lab doesn't cut the negatives because that will make it a lot easier. And definitely with 120 because I think the negative will stay flatter if you have a longer negative to work with. So 35, but first let's switch up this because this needs to go. This is for 120 of course, and we need to change it with the 35 one, which is pretty easy because you just fit it in like this. Fits immediately, and then we can put in negative of course. Take that out. My lab doesn't sleeve them, which is a shame to say at least. They put them in these film roll cases. But there are also labs that sleeve full rolls of negatives. So if your lab provides that, that's perfect. Makes it a lot easier in my opinion, and also makes it a little bit less prone to scratches and dust. But on the other hand, I didn't have a lot of extra dust or scratches than I would normally have, so maybe I'm just too nitpicky about it. So here we got the 35mm roll, which goes in again on the right side. Push it in a little bit, and now we notice that we got a mini tiny frame, and that's of course because our camera is way too high. So what we do then is we lower the whole camera from the stand, which is pretty easy because there's a knob behind here. You twist it and you get it down like this. I like to get as much of it in the frame as possible. Didn't I mark it? I thought I marked it. Maybe I just marked it for 120. A little bit higher. So yeah, that's easily adjusted, and always check if everything is level with this little leveler thing. So yeah, that's leveled, and we can again continue scanning. You feel when it attaches itself to the rollers inside of the film holder, and you can just easily scan the rest of your film. But I'm not going to scan this whole roll of film because that doesn't make sense for this episode. But yeah, that's how easy it is. Oh wait, let me get the negative out. And it can also turn the other way around, so it seems. So I bet you can scan your negative within less than 2 minutes if you're quick with it. So yeah, really easy and fast way to do it. And I totally forgot to say that just for this demonstration I got the Canon R on it and not the R5C because that's filming over there. So if you guys are wondering, wait, that's not the R5C from Canon, that's why. So yeah, pretty nice setup, right? It is really easy to scan a roll of film. And if you guys are interested in how I convert these negatives, subscribe to the channel because next episode is all about that. Thanks again to Negative Supply for sponsoring this episode, and for my European friends, Photo Impacts is the place to go. For now, thanks for watching and I'll see you next week. Peace.